An NHL.com article revealed that the New Jersey Devils are willing to trade the number 10 overall pick, and in the same title of this article, it says they are looking for a goalie, which creates a huge opportunity for the Boston Bruins. In this case, I'm going to be talking about some things that GM of the Devils, Todd Fitzgerald, has spoken about, and how this can impact the Boston Bruins. I'm also going to be talking about Danton Heinen. His two parties between him and his agent, the Boston Bruins, have discussed a possible contract negotiation, which we may see coming soon. And finally, the Patrick Kane odds have been revealed, and the Boston Bruins are actually quite high and potentially signing the future Hall of Famer. So I'm going to be talking about all of this crazy stuff here in this video. Before we get into it, though, we noticed that 81% of you guys watching right now are not subscribed to the channel. If you're looking for a spot to get all of your Boston Bruins news, you're in the right spot. Make sure to hit the sub button, join us here as we cover every single bit of Boston Bruins news that we have to bring you in this offseason, and you'll make sure to stay up to date with everything that this team has to offer. But like I said, let's get straight into our first topic here, which is the Devils are open to trading the number 10 overall pick, which is an absolutely, like I said, fantastic opportunity here for the Boston Bruins. And this came up in this article right here from NHL.com. The Devils are open to trading the number 10 overall pick in 2024, and looking for a goalie was in the same title of this article. We know the Devils are looking for a goalie. They were in on Linus Ullmark. They discussed a potential trade earlier in the season. However, nothing did arise from this. But as you can see there, GM hopes to upgrade after New Jersey allowed 3.43 goals per game this season and missed the playoffs. So bear with me, because I do have a lot of screenshots here regarding quotes from Tom Fitzgerald discussing how this will impact the Boston Bruins in a very great move. So let's get straight into our first one. He has to say this: if we feel it helps us now and it's in the foreseeable future, then yes, I'm listening. And that's regarding a potential trade of the number 10 overall pick. But he does not specify here in this specific quote about a goalie. He goes on then to this: at the end of the day, we're in a position now versus 2 years ago when we drafted defenseman Simon Nemec and number 2 in the 2022 NHL draft, where if we can find the right piece to help us get to where we want to go today, tomorrow, and whatever or wherever is controllable future for that player, great. That the mindset versus great. We have a top 10 pick, and the kid is going to be fantastic when he's 25 years old. So really showing that, or discussing, I guess you could say, that the Devils are kind of done with going to try and get the youngest, best player and saying he will develop in a few years, he'll be good in a few years. They want to be ready now to go in a Stanley Cup run, and they need a goalie to be able to do that. So that's another subtle hint at what GM Tom Fitzgerald is discussing he wants to happen with the New Jersey Devils. But let's move on to another one here. Sorry about that. And he goes on to say this as well: this has got to be the season where we go, where we can take that step year in, year out. To constantly be banging on the door, it has to be everybody, including myself, the players, the staff. We've got to look in the mirror and say, what's going on here? I think you're going to see a very motivated group. And looking back on the previous years for the New Jersey Devils, as Tom Fitzgerald said, looking in the rearview mirrors, the goaltending has really been the issue for this team. They're a super young, talented team on offense, on defense, and really what they're lacking is the goaltending here in this whole system of what we're seeing from the New Jersey Devils. He also had to go and say this one here. Sorry about this. I'll go to it after, but as you can see, there's really a lot of things that this team wants to do, and adding a goalie, is the number one priority from what we're seeing, from what Tom Fitzgerald had to say, from everybody here is what they want to do. They want to get a better goalie. They want to see the team improve, and to do that, going to have to be a goalie. And Linus Ullmark could potentially be the trade for the number 10 overall pick. I can see a world where that is the New Jersey Devils are looking for that top goalie. There's only a few that are available: UC Saros, Linus Ullmark, and some other lower tier ones. But those two are the real top tier goalies that will be available over the next few years to help now and to help the foreseeable future of this New Jersey Devils team. Linus Ullmark gonna need an extension. The Bruins or the Devils will be able to use that to their favor, use that as their selling point to be able to say, you can control him, you can see what he wants, and you can work from there. Linus Ullmark, the no trade clause still is in effect, however. That could mean, though, he wants to stay on the East Coast. We really have no idea what it could be, but Linus Ullmark, I think, still is a great opportunity, a great candidate to be a New Jersey Devil in exchange for the 10th overall pick, which the Bruins could use to either flip or draft a player who can slot into this lineup now and help this team a lot over this next season and a few other ones. But here's what he had to say. I'm in the goalie market talking to teams, but there's a but. And the but is, how do we want to build our team? Tom Fitzgerald said, we'd like to add up front. We'd like to add on the back end. So what are those pieces going to cost us with the goaltending? What's that going to cost us? So they know that the number 10 overall pick is going to be in play at some point. What's it going to cost them? That's the big point. But Linus Ullmark potentially could be a huge thing. You may almost guarantee to have to add some things to be able to get a number 10 overall pick, but this draft is very, very good. And I'm going to cover this in the future here before the draft, but there's a lot of players that could easily slot into an NHL lineup right now with a top 15 pick. So the Bruins may decide to do something like this to help them out, but we're going to be yet to see. We're going to see if the Bruins make any moves on this. But let's move on to our second topic here, which is Danton Heinen. A possible extension is coming soon, and it's looking like it as both parties, from his agent and the team, are in mutual discussion to be able to re-sign and negotiate the next contract. And this is what this came up from here from David Pagnotta of the Fourth Period. The Bruins are expected to speak to Danton Heinen's camp this week and start discussions on a possible new contract. Heinen is one of Boston's 9 pending UFAs, and Danton Heinen, the Bill Masterton nominee for the Bruins here this season, had a very surprising year after coming in, not having a roster spot, needed to earn this roster spot in the preseason, in training camp, and he earned that spot and excelled throughout this year, played very, very good, and is a player who is really going to show that this team will need a guy like Danton Heinen. A guy like Danton Heinen is a contract that you need to be able to fill right in to this team, a skilled guy, very, I wouldn't say young, but he's on the younger side, and he's not going to be commanding a lot of money. So this would be a perfect bottom 6, top 9 player for the Boston Bruins, which they're going to need, which is a very big part. And as you can see here, this year, 36 points, 74 games. Not too bad for a player who barely made the roster, playing 15 minutes time on ice. And I would be very happy to see Danton Heinen back as a Boston Bruin for this season. And as I said, he's not going to be commanding too much money. He's not going to be asking for too much, but he will have a major role on this team when it does come down to who will be here in the depth pieces and in the lower spots of this roster, along with a lot of the younger players that are going to be coming up. But let's move on to our final topic here, which is Patrick Kane. He's one of the favorites to sign with the Boston Bruins, and this is a bit of a weird one. So for those of you who know how the betting odds works and stuff, this will be a pretty easy one for you to understand. But as you can see here, because of this, the Bruins are being viewed as potential frontrunners to land Kane this summer. According to Bet Michigan, the Bruins have the best odds at a plus 800 of signing Kane. That is being if he does not re-sign with the Red Wings, which is a plus 115. So a plus 800 still is not bad for being favored to sign. However, the likelihood that he does re-sign with the Red Wings is very high. So that is the factor. That's why the Bruins are very low on this, because there's no question the Bruins could use a proper star like Kane in their top 6. The future Hall of Famer will provide them with an immediate upgrade and would work wonderfully on the line with Brad Marchand. In addition, would give them power play more life because of the playmaking ability. And we know Patrick Kane is not the ideal target for the Boston Bruins. However, if the contract is right, I don't think you can go wrong. He's definitely older. He would not be signing multiple years, maybe 1 or maybe 2. But Patrick Kane is still a very good player. Very, very good player. I will pull up his the graphic here of his stats. 50 games, 47 points, and even coming off an injury, surprised a lot of people. 20 minutes of time on ice with the Red Wings, still putting the puck in the back of the net. 20 goals, 27 assists, and still the player that, Patrick Kane is supposed to be. Now, not the level that he once was, but certainly a great player still. And if it comes down to it, I won't be mad if the Bruins get him. The price has to be good, though. You can't be paying him 5, 6, 7 million at that age. It had to be a lower contract, which likely the Red Wings will be paying him a good amount to stay. So I think that is the proper option. If it comes down to it, yes, but don't go out of your way to try and get a Patrick Kane, as I discussed in the video where we talked about him. But so I got here in this video. Let me know what you think about a potential trade with Linus Ullmark to the New Jersey Devils in exchange for the 10th overall pick. Could be used to flip, could be used to make a pick or whatnot. There's a lot of options the Bruins have here in this offseason, and the draft is coming up soon, so they need to make a decision before this. But like I said, that's all I got here on this video. If you did enjoy, give it a like, hit the sub button as well. But I'm signing out. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.